Hello everyone, Catweazle here, and it's turn 8 of Arkham Horror, The Woods So Dark and Deep. And we're in a bit of bother. Yes, the Doom track's at 8. We have got Ashcan coming out of this turn, out of the Plateau of Leng, so we should seal at least one gate. He's got an Elder Sign. We could push the Doom track back down to 7 for the time being. Unfortunately, Zoey's going to have to stay in the Dreamlands for one more turn. Rex is in the Science Building, but he's only got 1 sanity. We've got Jenny at the Silver Twilight Lodge, but we do have an unguarded gate at the graveyard, which is where she's going to go. First things first though, I noticed last thing during the last game that the Herald, the Black Goat of the Woods, if you actually kill I think it's down here somewhere. Each time an investigator defeats a Hexagon monster, he or she draws a corruption card. Well, I drew one for Zoey because I knew she'd defeated the Dark Young, but she'd also defeated a ghoul and a formless spawn. So what I did, because it was getting late on, I drew those cards for her. For the formless spawn and for the ghoul. So we got Jealous Guardian. You cannot lose items unless you choose to do so, but you also cannot trade out items with other investigators. Choose to discard half your items or draw a corruption card. And we got Nightmarish Visions. Corruption, lose 2 sanity and gain 2 clue tokens. So those are the 2 extra corruption cards that she's got, and that we'll have to keep an eye out for when we turn over the Mythos cards. Unfortunately, we've got a few turns there where we weren't following that, and all I can do is hold my hands up and say I messed up. But if there's any consolation to the game, it looks like it's going to kick us in the arse anyway. So we're just going to have to take that one on the chin and move on. But anybody watching, we should have took a corruption card each time that Zoey killed a Hexagon monster, which makes it really bad for killing Hexagon monsters. But that's the nature of the beast when you play the Black Goat of the Woods. Okay, next up, I think first to go is Rex Murphy this turn, and let's get on with the upkeep phase. In fact, I'm talking rubbish. Our first player is Zoey. Rex was the first player last turn. Okay, right. So what we're going to do with Zoey? Well, first of all, we're going to give her a clue token because she's the first player and Rex completed his personal story. Here are a couple of the Hexagon monsters that she had to take her corruptions for. Okay, so Healing Stone as usual. Refresh it, and then we're going to exhaust it because she's going to get another stamina. So she's up to 4. So she's currently delayed at the moment in the Dreamlands. So all she's going to do in the movement phase is stand up. She won't be able to come out of the Dreamlands because of the gate card we got last turn. So there's not much to do really. All she's going to do is stand up. So she's got an Elder Sign, so that's what she's going to close the gate with, so we don't really have to stick a focus up any. So we'll just leave it at that and we'll head on off to Jenny Barnes. Jenny has tons of clues. And unfortunately for poor old Jenny, she's putting the fate of the world before her sister, because we are going to have to get sealing gates to have any chance in this game. So that means we're going to keep her speed at 3 and she's going to zoom into the graveyard. So, but before then, she gets a trust fund $1. So, oh, that'll put her up to $5, so let's take all them, put them back. Oh, hang on. Just before I get the $5, let's just roll for the bank loan. for her, so she doesn't have to pay that back. She doesn't have to pay the interest, so she can take a £5. There we go. Right, so she's got the requisite 3 speed to give her 3 movement, and she's just going to pop in that graveyard gate. So that's it for Jenny. Next up is Ashcan Pete, and here we are with Ashcan Pete. Last turn he did pick a unique item, and he did pick a common item, and I didn't look on the bottom of the decks as per Scrounge. Now the reason I didn't look on the bottom of the decks is because I knew what was there. I knew that the common item had a whiskey on the bottom, because that was what Zoey Samaras had discarded. And he also knew, because Rex had just done it, Rex had just used the Coup de Ghoul. So the tome that was on the bottom of the unique item deck, which is why I didn't bother looking. I just took them off the top. But he did have the option. He could have looked at the bottom. I should have explained the reason why I didn't bother looking at the bottom of the decks, and that was the reason. I knew what was on the bottom, so I didn't bother. So that's why I picked up the crowbar, because I thought that'd be better than the whiskey. And Coup de Ghoul, you lose 2 sanity. So Cabala, we could have got something better, and I took the Cabala of Saboth because we get a skill. So if he gets a chance to use it. So that's why I didn't look on the bottom of the decks, but I could have done. Right, what's he going to do? Well, he's going to come out of the Plateau of Leng, and he's going to try and seal a gate, which should be a doddle, because he's got an Elder Sign. He'll lose a sanity and he'll lose a stamina, but he's shut the gate. So that's what he's going to do next turn. I'm going to move his speed up, because I'm thinking he's quickly going to have to, when he moves next turn, he's going to take the Milk of Shub-Niggurath. We've got to get these monsters away from these gates and leave them free for people like good old Rex to get into and start closing gates. So that's our last chance, really. He's not going to take the Milk of Shub-Niggurath this turn. The reason for that is he'd go insane before he closed the gate, so he's going to have to wait a bit for that. Right, and that's the reason why he's not going to use the crowbar either. If he used the crowbar in the movement phase and he failed the sneak check, which isn't very likely, but if he failed the sneak check, then he'd get arrested. So he'd get arrested before he could shut the gate, so he's not going to use that either. Right, okay, next up is Rex Murphy. There's Rex. If Rex had had a bit more sanity, I'd have just sent him through the Black Cave gate using sneak and just gone for it. But he's only got 1 sanity, and we're just asking for him to either get sent to Arkham Asylum straight off or get lost in time and space. So I'm going to waste 1 more precious turn just sending him up to Arkham Asylum to get all his sanity back. So he's got 4 speed, he's got 2 from Eric Colt, so he's got plenty to get up to Arkham Asylum. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. He could spend 2 movement points to do the Book of Dezjan, but he loses 1 sanity and he'd go insane anyway. So what we'll do is we won't bother with that, but we'll keep it in the back of our minds just in case. But first of all, he's got a blessing to roll for and a retainer to roll for. He gets $2 for his retainer, so that'll take him up to 15. Put that in there. In you go. And let's see if he gets to keep his retainer. A 6. And his blessing. A 6. Excellent. Keeps both of those. And he's got plenty of movement to get to Arkham Asylum. And then as soon as he's replenished his sanity, Ashcan Pete will have used the Milk of Shub-Niggurath. There'll be nobody guarding a gate, and he'll go wham straight into the next gate. Hopefully some things will go our way, we'll get some kind Mythos cards or something will happen and we will get the extra couple of turns that we desperately need. But putting Doom tokens on for monster surges is killing us. Plus the fact that we didn't get like Elder Signs quickly enough. If only the first couple of times we'd gone shopping we'd have got these Elder Signs, we'd have been in a much better position. But as it is, they are giving us a small glimmer of hope. Right, let's move to the movement phase. And first up is Zoey, and all she can do, the poor thing, is stand up. So she's going to be in the Dreamlands for the rest of this turn. After Zoey, it's Jenny Barnes. And here's Jenny in the Silver Twilight Lodge. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, and go to the unguarded graveyard gate, so she don't have to mess around evading or fighting any monsters, because we're in a hurry. Next up is Ashcan Pete. And here's Ashcan in the Plateau of Leng, and he's just going to go back to the Unvisited Isle. He doesn't have to bother about the ghost for the time being, because he's just come out of the gate. So he's going to try and shut that gate during the encounter phase. And last but not least, we have Rex. And Rex is going to go up to Arkham Asylum. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And there he is. Okay, that's the end of the movement phase. Next up is the Arkham encounter phase. Here we are at the Arkham encounter phase. Zoey's in another world, so Jenny's first, so let's find out where she's going. She's going to another dimension. Bit of good luck, it's only a +0 gate. Excellent. Right, she's going to another dimension, which is right down at the bottom corner of the board, so that's where she's going. Next up is Ashcan Pete. Here we are with Ashcan Pete at the Unvisited Isle, and this is always a nice moment in Arkham Horror. I always like to seal at least one gate. Not amazing, I grant you, but if I get one gate sealed, I don't feel too bad. So, he's going to close the Plateau of Leng. So, let's get rid of the gate stand. And in order to do this, he's not going to use his clues, because we need to get the Doom track down. He's going to use the Elder Sign, so he's going to lose 1 stamina and 1 sanity. He doesn't have to roll anything. He just loses the stamina and the sanity. This gets discarded totally. It doesn't go on the bottom of the deck. And he's now down to 3 sanity and 3 stamina. But what it does mean is Funky Disc of Blueness. That goes there. And let's have a look at the gate before he takes it as a trophy. Diamonds. Woohoo! I believe we've got some diamonds. Elder Thing. Ah! Goodbye. We get a monster stand back. That goes back in the bag. Do we have any more? We could do with some more. No, it's pretty much all. No, we've got a triangle and we've got a crescent. Unfortunately, even if that was a hexagon gate, we can't take those monsters off because it's the Black Goat of the Woods and it makes it really awkward. But there's our first gate trophy and it goes to Ashcan Pete. He's not going to spend that. Again, you never know. We might get lucky. I might win on closed gates again. Pigs might fly as well, but let's keep our options as open as possible. Okay, right. Next up is Rex Murphy. And here's Rex at Arkham Asylum. He's got loads of money, so he's going to put a £5 in, get 3 back, and he's going to replenish all his sanity. So that's going to take him back up to 5 sanity. So he's got 5 stamina, 5 sanity, he's fully healed. If I can find a 3 sanity marker, there's one. And another single. And he's ready to get gate sealing next turn. And we will need it. Next up then, is the Otherworld encounter phase. And first up is Zoey. So let us get the gate deck. And because it's the Dreamlands, it's any colour, so it's whatever's first on the deck, we shall resolve it. So let's have a look. So red. So we've got Focus, we've got Relay, we've got the Plateau of Leng, so we're going to have other. Oh, here we go. A crazed half-dead explorer attacks you. Pass a fight +2 check to overcome him. If you succeed, take 1 common item and lose 1 sanity as you contemplate the poor soul's fate. If you fail, lose 1 stamina. Alright, let's try and pass it then, shall we? Just move so I can get the dice tower in. Right. That out the way. Dice tower in. And she gets +2, and it was specifically a fight check, so it's not a combat check. I can only use her fight, which is 2 +2, so she'll get 4 dice. Important distinction to make that. If it ever asks for a fight check, it's just your fight, it's not a combat one. Combat checks, you can use weapons and stuff, but if it's a fight check, it is just your fight score that is on your player card. Right, 4 dice. Go on, Zoey. She gets a 6, so she passes that. So I believe she gets a common item. Let's just check quickly again. Woot woot. Take 1 common item and lose 1 sanity. Right, so we'll discard that. Move the deck down to near where Jenny is. And common item. Woo! Come on, we want a motorbike or something. Research materials. Discard research materials instead of spending 1 clue token. Yeah. Well, it's not like we're not particularly short on clue tokens, to be honest. Oh, while I remember, obviously we used an Elder sign to shut the gate at the Unvisited Isle, so a Doom token does come off Shub's Doom track. So we're back down to 7. Right, put these research materials on Zoey's player tray. That's that done. Next up is Jenny Barnes, who's at another dimension. And here's Jenny right at the bottom, in another dimension. Similar to the Dreamlands, this is an any colour gate. It's red, blue, yellow or green. So whatever the top card is, we shall resolve. Another red card. Abyss and the Dreamlands. So it's other again. The air here is too noxious. You don't think you can make it. Pass a speed -1 check or lose 1 stamina. What's her speed? Her speed's 3, so she's going to have 2 dice. Come on Jenny. 5. Sweet. Right, so she doesn't lose 1 stamina. And her first encounter in another world has gone okay. We need to keep this sort of thing going. Right, so that is the end of the Otherworld encounter phase. Next up, it's the Mythos phase. Right, here we are at the Mythos phase. It doesn't really matter what we get. The only good jammy thing that could happen to us is if we get the Unvisited Isle, because we've sealed it. The worst thing that could happen is we get a gate burst on the Unvisited Isle. But other than that, even if one of the other gates that isn't sealed gets pulled out, it's a monster surge, but because it's the Black Goat, we'll have to put a Doom token on. So instead of messing around, let's get the deck of Doom and find out the worst. The Witch House, it's a surge. So what we're going to get is we're going to get 2 monsters. But first monster is coming out of the normal bag, because that's the way I'm playing it, man, because I'm not stupid. And it's got to go on the Witch House. and it's a Leng spider, which is a bit of a pig. Right. So that's on there. Now we've got to pull a hexagon monster out, but the hexagon monster is going to go straight to the outskirts. And we've got, oh, a Dark Young, and it's going to the outskirts. What a pity. Right, so put that in there. We've now got 2 in the outskirts. So that's not so bad. What else? Bring that up. Let's put the rest of the deck back. Right, the clue appears. Oh no, I'm picking 4 monsters out, aren't I? No, it's a Surge, Dylan. Right, so we've got another normal monster to come out. So we're going to end up with 4 in the outskirts. So a Wraith, good. I hate them. Right, that goes in there. And the last one for the outskirts. Yeah, I think Isabella's had it. Terratrak's not going to go up this turn, but it's going to hit 3. And a goat spawn. Right, so there we are. The outskirts is full up. Next time a monster goes in it, the Terratrak goes up again. Right. Hokey cokey. Clue appears at the Black Cave, except it doesn't because we've got an open gate there. Movement. Ah, right, crescents. I think the only crescent we've got is the ghost, and that doesn't move. No, it doesn't. And plus monsters, we haven't got any plus monsters. So, no monster movement. Let's see if it matches any of the corruption cards. Jenny's is a slash on moving on white, so that's okay. We've got a diamond on black for Zoey. We've got a circle, let me just check that. A circle on black, so we're fine there. And we've got a star on white, so none of those match. So none of our corruption cards kick in. Right. 4th of July parade headline. Investigators cannot move into or out of the merchant district. Oh, you're joking. Until the end of the next turn. Leave this card in play until then to indicate this. Close the merchant district streets. Ah. Well, that's bad news, because Ashcan Pete is now stuck in the unvisited isle. What I wanted him to do, originally, that we're not going to be able to do now, is I wanted Ashcan to actually move out of there. I was thinking of taking him all the way up to the train station, if I'm honest. Then he was going to drink the milk of Shub-Niggurath, and all the monsters were going to go to the train station, which is out of the way. But now he's just going to have to drink it at the unvisited isle. It's one way to get him out of the unvisited isle, because he'll go doolally and end up in Arkham Asylum. But I'd prefer not to have all the monsters like so close to the unnameable. We might have to shut a gate there at some point. But that's just the way it's happened. So never mind. We'll just have to deal with it. But oh, we had a monster surge, so that doom token goes back on, so we're back up to 8. So there we go. So we're at 8 on the doom track. We did take one off, so we've sort of held station for a turn. Zoey will be coming out of the Dreamland, so we could take another one off. Probably end up having to put it back on, but again, that's 2 turns where we've held station, and we'll get another gate sealed. Then what we can do is Ashcan, drink the milk of Shub-Niggurath, all those monsters will join him at the unvisited isle. He'll go mental, go to Arkham Asylum. There will be 2 open gates that he can go in. He'll be able to go in either the Black Cave or the Witch House. This is Rex. So, and he can hopefully seal those. So in a few turns we should have 4 gates sealed. Which, if we end up getting beat, you know, I'll consider getting 4 gates not a bad effort, but I would like to win. So let's keep chugging along, see what we can do. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks for all your subscriptions and all your comments. They're very much appreciated. And I hope you'll join me in the next turn 9 of Arkham Horror, The Woods So Dark and Deep. Until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.